The assistant coach, Josie Ricks. The assistant coach, Adam Godwin. And the head coach is Samantha Bohol. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the starting 11 for your Stetson Hatters. Alexis Smith. Junior, number 18, Chloe Washington. Freshman, number 20, Izzy Jean-Pierre. Sophomore, number 21, Kylie Kelly. A sophomore, number 22, Lena. Freshman number 26, Hannah Arfey. Junior number 30, Ariana White. And a freshman number 33, Avery White. In goal for your Hatters, red shirt sophomore number 1, Sarah Griffin. The assistant coaches are Jordan Calabria and Lucas Zitcher. And as always, the head coach of your Hatters is none other than Chris Bergman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that if you're physically able, that you please rise and join us as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Good Sunday evening to you from the Athletic Training Center for the second time ever, and the first time since 1996. It will be the Hatters and the Gators doing battle on the pitch, a pair of teams with very contrasting season opening results. Good evening, everyone. Victor Anderson, glad that you're with us here on a second broadcast of the Stetson athletic season. Stetson coming off an impressive 5-0 shutout victory over South Carolina State on Thursday evening. Meanwhile, Florida went to UCF and suffered a 3-0 loss to the home-standing Knights, conceding all 3 goals in a 28-minute stretch during the second half. So Florida will look to get back on the right track, and Stetson will look for a 2-0 start to this young season. Here's the lineup for the Florida Gators with their head coach Samantha Baum in her first season taking over the Gator program after a decorated 15-year coaching reign at Emory-Riddle, where he saw the Eagles transition from an NAIA power to a power in the Sunshine State Conference. Going with the 5-3-2 format. At the defense will be number 7, Laura McCloskey, 5'10 freshman from Canton, Georgia. Number 9, Josie Curtis, 5'7 junior from Bradenton, Florida. Number 20, Anna De Leon, a 5'7 junior for Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Number 21, Madison Young, 5'7 sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, rounding out the Florida defense. And then in the midfield, number 24, Cameron Hall, 5'6 senior from Buford, Georgia. Number 25, Delancey Talzel, 5'7" junior from St. John's, Florida. Number 32, Sid Kennedy, 5'7" senior from Fall River, Nova Scotia, Canada. Forwards will be number 40, Olivia Gonzalez, 5'7" senior from Palm Harbor, Florida. And number 20, Corey Peace, 5'6" senior from Calmont, Pennsylvania. And Sophie White, 5'6" freshman, redshirt freshman from Herman, Utah. So Florida going with the 4-3-3 alignment. And then the goal, number 5, Lexa Goldberg, 5'7" junior from St. Petersburg, Florida. For the home-standing Hatters and their head coach Chris Bergman going with the 4-4-2 alignment, similar to the performance on Thursday night versus South Carolina State defense. Anna Brethauer, 5'7" junior. Joining her will be Issy Gauthier, 5'8" freshman from Westfield, New Jersey. Callie Thalen, 5'8" sophomore from Oviedo, Florida. And Avery Wise, 5'6" freshman. Midfielders will be Thelma Budakdrive, 5'7" junior from Ratchabek, Eastland. Lexus Smith, 5'8" freshman from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. And Florida already putting the pressure on early. And Sarah Grimmett getting involved in the action 14 seconds in. Grimmett picked up her 4th clean sheet in just 8 career starts in the win versus South Carolina State on Thursday evening. A game which Stetson had to wait an hour due to lightning. And a nice job by Stetson on the attacking third, putting pressure the other way, and a too heavy touch, and it'll send him back to the Gators side of the field. Gators trying to bounce back after a difficult 2021 season. Saw them go 4-12-4. 3 of those wins coming in SEC play, going 3-6-1, losing in the SEC quarterfinal. Coach and athletic director Scott Strickland making another change in leadership. That's Stetson in the attacking third, trying to get their first shot on goal. They had 12 shots on goal in the win versus South Carolina State. Almost got one there and in the goal zone, and were able to deny the opportunity. A little bit too tough for the touch. Try to go to Sid Kennedy on the near sideline. And Stetson will have a throw-in down below us. And Stetson trying to get a crossover in the middle of the field. And Florida read it easily. Kennedy trying to find an angle. Had one there. Gators threatening. Good defense cut off. Ball still in it. Florida zone and the header out of bounds. And Florida will be awarded with the first corner kick of the night. Florida, in spite of the 3-0 loss on Thursday versus UCF, actually appeared for most of the game the more aggressive side. Coach Rohan, during her post-game interview on the Gator website, mentioned that they felt that the score wasn't really indicative of the level of play. Ball slips through for a screen, and nice deflection off the arm. Got a little help on the backside as well, but Stetson. And it'll be another corner kick for Florida. Chloe Washington, the junior from Windermere. A partial save with Grimmett, who got screened by a sea of white and black jerseys in front of her. Another corner for the Gators. Tried a little set piece, and nice job by Stetson and Beeman the rate. Beeman gets the steal off of Kennedy. Nice little footwork there by Kennedy. But Florida keeps it back on their side of the field. Bringing in the attacking zone, and once again, Corey Washington flashing some defensive brilliance early on due to the first down 4 minutes. Again, this is the second time that these two schools have ever met on the soccer pitch. The other time came all the way back in October of 1996. That was a 5-0 win for the Gators on that afternoon, and some of the names that were on that Gator team were names that you may be familiar with. Nice contest, but the Gators keep it on the attack, on their attacking third. Challenge, and it'll be a throw-in for Florida. On the throw line towards the corner. And again, Chloe Washington has been a menace and wins a throw-in for Stetson. Washington really flashing off the screen early on in the first half. And a tough challenge, heavy contact, and there is a whistle. Okay, it was a late whistle, but it'll be a throw-in right in front of the Hatter bench. Chris Bergman in his 4th season was very pleased with how things went on Thursday night versus South Carolina State. 21 different Hatters got a chance to play, playing at least 22 minutes. Only 3 of the original 11 for Stetson played the full 90. Almost dangerous cross. Helmer right there, and another throw-in for the Hatters. Stetson being the aggressor early on. A lot of the action in his first 8 minutes going along the Stetson side of the field, but Florida has not been able to capitalize to this point. As he got there again with the strong defense, preventing an opportunity for Florida. Well, touch, and there comes Stetson. What a good play on the far side by the Gators. That's Sophie White, the redshirt freshman from Utah. And a nice tackle on the back end. It's got there again, and they'll have the whistle. It'll go to Stetson. Gauthier and Kennedy, they'll be battling all evening long. Stetson trying to find a way to keep that ball, get that ball out of their side of the field. Maybe trying to get a shot of their own. No official shots so far. Despite that attempt from Florida, 15 seconds in this first half. Approaching 37 minutes left in his opening half. Neither side has yet to break through. Florida has had the bulk of the offensive possession so far. And again, neither team has had an official shot. Stetson looking to change that, try to cross it over. Good job by Madison Young, the sophomore from Fort Lauderdale. Florida only returned 3 goal scorers from last year's team. To have a touch and a nice stretch at the last second by Sarah Gribbett. Ball landed awkwardly on the foot, right in front of Grimmon, and she had to scramble to get that save. Well, Florida will have another corner. Third corner kick for the Gators. As we approach 9 minutes gone in this opening half of play. Try to set piece. And again, Stetson clears. Try to get it right over in front of Grimmett. Had Delaney Towzel right there in front of her, but couldn't get a touch on it. And Grimmett was able to deny Florida once again. But the Gators continue to apply the pressure. Good job by the Stetson front line, Sophia White. That's just Thelma Sefaseo right there. And an opportunity. Here comes Stetson. The Alexander hanging along the far side. And Stetson will get a throw in towards the halfway line. Ten minutes gone in the first half. Russell keep it with Stetson. Still no score. Victor Anderson, glad you're with us here at the Athletic Training Center. Great crowd here this evening. And it'll be a whistle. And it looks like it'll be a foul called against Florida. So it'll be a free kick for Stetson. Right near the defensive third for Florida. Raises that one into the waiting glove of Goldberg. And Goldberg handles her first opportunity with relative ease. Like the rest of Goldberg, handle his opponents in the ring with ease as well. Touch on the far side over to Curtis, but she's stopped. And again, that's the Stetson. The Stetson defense has been stout so far. Gauthier, Alexander, Washington. But Florida continuing to apply the pressure, and again, Sarah Grimmett keeps the Gators off the scoreboard. Mention Grimmett with making her 9th career start tonight versus the Gators. Has recorded 4 shutouts in her previous 8 starts, including that 5-0 season opening win versus South Carolina State on Thursday night. Had to make 4 saves on Thursday. She's already made 3 here in the first 12 plus minutes. Contact in front of the Stetson bench, and another whistle will go in favor of the Hatters. Much of the dismay of the Gator fans down below. Action back and forth, mainly for the Gators. On the offensive third. Aaron pass, Stetson has it now. Dalen trying to work a little magic, trying to weave through a double team. Trying to do a little bit too much with their opposing number, Madison Young, right on top of her. Kennedy again trying to out-battle Thalen this time. A little bit too heavy of a touch along the line. And set to have a throw-in. At 31-42 and rolling in this first half. Still looking for our first score. Stetson looking for their first shot. Gators have been the more assertive side, but Stetson with the chance. Washington a little bit too much. Goldberg calls everyone off and will collect. This is what Coach Samantha Bohan was mentioning in her post-game interview on Thursday after the loss versus UCF, where she was really pleased with how her Gators played. And Thielen will be whistled for the offense. Now, is Thielen going to be whistled here? Is Thielen going to be caught here, or is she going to get a talk with the official? Okay. Our official having a discussion with the sophomore tonight defenseman. Gators with the kick, way over the head, but over to Olivia Gonzalez. And let's go along, and it will be a throw-in for Florida. Not awarded with their fourth corner. A throw-in for Florida. Again, Stetson so far continuing to keep Florida off the scoreboard. Heavy touch battle of 21s, won by the Hatter. 21 Thielen, and Stetson will throw in directly towards the halfway line. 15 minutes gone in this first half. Still no score here at DeLand, Florida Athletic Training Center. Victor Anderson with you. And his second ever meeting between the Hatters and the Gators. Good kick on a tough angle by Gonzalez, but once again, the redshirt sophomore for the Hatters, Sarah Grimmett, makes the save. Reference to the other meeting between these two schools came back all the way in 1996, October 5th to be specific, a 5-0 win for the Gators. And on that Florida team included longtime members of Team USA, Danielle Fotopoulos, who's now a head coach over at Eckerd College, the Division II side, where Coach Samantha Braun has had her battles with during her time in Embry-Riddle. And Heather Mitz among the Gators, who won the squad that day in the win over the Hatters. Ironically enough, neither of them scored. Fotopoulos did have an assist in that 5-0 win. And they're gonna have a whistle and some tough contesting and pleasantries exchange between this time Kennedy and Lombardi. Kennedy whistled for the offense, but it gets under the goal, and that one will go just to the left of Goldberg. So Stetson with their real first true opportunity off the Gators in this first half. Kennedy trying to crash it over, trying to set over in the middle. Nice play by Stetson on the defensive side. And Leah Alexander right there denying a crosser. Gators would keep it. Late whistle, but there is a foul. Called on Alexis Smith, trying to get position on Gonzalez. Whistles really starting to come down in these last few minutes. Florida will have a free kick. Josie Curtis will trigger it to transfer. Bradenton, Florida. Curtis played at Florida Gulf Coast, was riddled with injuries each of her last 2 seasons. Former Florida Dairy Farmers Miss Soccer back in 2020. And a smart play by Gauthier And we'll have our first substitution of the match. It'll be Gabby Padilla who'll come in for Stetson. Coming for Ariana Lombardi. Coach Bergman mentioned that depth that you got a chance to utilize on Thursday night versus South Carolina State. Called it a great team opportunity, a chance to build depth and confidence given the opponent coming up in the Gators. 25-44 and rolling in the first half. Still no score. Gators have had a bulk of the chances. But Sarah Grimet continues to be a wall on that last line of defense. Accidental trip up. Play continues on. Stetson with a home-friendly schedule to start 2022 as the Gators will have a throw-in in front of the Hatter bench. Stetson will finish their season-opening homestand on Thursday here at the ATC versus FIU as part of a doubleheader with the men's team. Padilla with the contest and will send it out to the mid-third. The women will play at 5 versus FIU. The men will kick off their regular season at 7:30 versus Wright State. The men a 4-0 win in their final exhibition versus Rollins College. A game that was supposed to be played Friday night, but Mother Nature pushed the game to a 9 a.m. kickoff this morning here at the ATC. So an impromptu day-night soccer twin bill in Volusia County. Another throw-in for Florida. And they really controlled the tempo and the tenor of this opening 45. But yet had nothing to show for it. That's kind of that was a microcosm of that matchup versus UCF on Thursday in Orlando, where the game was pretty even, except for a 28-minute stretch in the second half where UCF scored 3 times, and we have an offside. And so Coach Samantha Bohan mentioned about that particular match, and she was happy with the work rate of her Gators and that stretch, needing to do it for a full 90 and not 75. And they really heeded her message so far with this aggressive attacking style. Still trying to find that touch to set up a breakthrough against their in-state foes. A little too much of a touch, trying to get the crossover in the penalty area. Too much of a bad header by Wise. Fortunately, it goes backwards to the waiting area of the goalkeeper, Sarah Grimet. 22-37 in this opening half. Again, we're at a scoreless stalemate on a Sunday night in Volusia County. Gators again pressing the issue. Gators heavily with the possession area. And again, right there on it is Chloe Washington. We mentioned her name a lot during the first 5 minutes, but she's been relatively quiet since then. See a trio of Gators set to check in at the next whistle. Sixteen different Gators saw at least 20 minutes on the pitch versus UCF on Thursday night. And we'll see more of the same here tonight. Again, trying to get it across, and it'll be another corner kick for Florida. But we will have those 3 substitutions that we referenced.
Substitution. For Florida, number 22, Oakley Rasmussen, replacing number 24, Cameron Hall. Number 99, Julian Moskowskis, replacing number 11, Sophie White, and number 16, Ashley Tutas.
So it'll be Ashley Tutas, Oakley Rasmussen, and Julianne Moskowskis.
Replacing number 21, Riley Bennett. Corner kick.
And Weinberger will come in. And that one gets up. And Florida gets through finally. We figured it was a matter of time before the Gators would finally break through, and they do. The first goal of the Samantha Bohan era. So Florida leads 1-0, 20:38 remaining in this first half.
University of Florida goal, scored number 20, Anna De Leon.
It was Anna De Leon with the goal. So Florida gets on the board. We'll have a substitution for Stetson after the goal. Kelly Gendy will check in. Gendy comes in for Alexander. Gendy, 5'11" freshman, Crystal Lake, Illinois. Gators lead 1-0. After the scramble and the med, De Leon punched it home. And there's a clear foul. Looked like too much of a shove by Sif Butater. And she'll be whistled for the foul. And Florida will have another free kick. And it's a great opportunity right now. If you're Florida, you just got the goal. You're continuing to attack. Now you'll have another kick. Talzo runs across. Now way too much. Nice catch by Finn.
Enter the game for Florida. Number 8, Tessa Barton.
So Tessa Barton will come on.
Replacing number 40, Olivia Gonzalez.
So Barton will come on for Gonzalez. Florida leading 1-0. 18:55 remaining in this opening half. And De Leon, the lone goal for Florida. Stetson continuing to be being pushed back. Florida dominating Stetson now with 9 shots to 2. 5 shots on goal for the 2 for Stetson. And all that work paying off with the punch in from close range by De Leon. At 18 minutes left in this first half. When you take a look at possession after the first 45, you'll see it'll be heavily in favor of the gals from Gainesville. Out of bounds, it'll belong to Florida on the throw-in. Florida still trying to establish their identity in the Coach Bohan, who kind of admitted during a conversation with the UCF TV crew during the middle of the week that her formation, with regards to how the team will line up, will really be dependent on the opponent. And so far, due to 2 games, we've seen 2 different formations. We've seen a 5-3-2 in their loss versus UCF on Thursday night. And then he had a 4-3-3 here today versus Stetson. You're seeing that coaching that they received, and will be offside against Florida, and Stetson will retake possession. I think for both of these teams, the fact that you have a quick turnaround from your opening match on Thursday allows you the opportunity to reinforce those things that you talked about earlier. Here comes Florida on a press it into the attacking third. Kennedy, a little bit too much, had a sliding Josie Curtis there, but Kennedy's touch was a little bit too thick. Otherwise, it would have been 2-0 Florida. Stetson catching a break as Kennedy and Curtis almost gave a huge second goal for Florida. 15:30 left in this first half. Still 1-0 in favor of Florida. Victor Anderson with you here at the Athletic Training Center. Second ever meeting between the Hatters and the Gators. Now Stetson trying to get themselves going offensively. Washington. And her touch was too heavy. It'll belong to Florida. Another substitution for Florida. So it'll be Erica Roberts, also from St. Petersburg, Florida. Her and Goldberg, both natives of St. Petersburg, Florida. Goldberg went to St. Petersburg High, which is about 20 minutes away from Eckerd College. Roberts went to Northside Christian. Goldberg a junior, Roberts a freshman. Stetson playing back on their heels with this pressure from this Gator side. Washington try to cut things off a little bit too much, and extracurricular activity with Curtis in Washington. So we're under 14 minutes in this first half. Florida leading 1-0. And DeLeon putting the Gators on the board. Try to get a ball again on the outside to Curtis. Goodwin pounces in front of it before the Gators can get an opportunity to strike again. You're my Stetson fans that will have a doubleheader of soccer action on Thursday here at the ATC. The women will be in action first at 5 o'clock versus in-state rival FIU. And the Stetson men will have their season opener at 7:30 versus Wright State. Go to GoHatters.com for more information, including getting tickets for your Thursday doubleheader here at the ATC. Stetson women at 5 versus FIU. The Stetson men 7:30 versus Wright State. .12:50 first half. Here comes Florida going into the attacking third. Nice deflection, but the Gators keep possession. Laura McCloskey, the freshman for Florida, out of Georgia, gets it into the penalty area. It's Stetson. Throws off another opportunity. A late whistle. And that gets the Gator fans exasperated. And I don't blame him there. Whistle appeared to be a few seconds late to their liking. It didn't appear much from our vantage point, but the gentlemen in the yellow long sleeves and the short sleeves are the ones that make the final determination, and they say it was a foul. Gator fans will certainly have second thoughts, and the Gator radio crew up above us will have their thoughts about it as well. Gators with another throw-in across the Stetson box between the two sides, straddling the midline. A little bit too strong. Young try to find Barton. There'll be a substitution for Stetson.
Substitution. Entering the game number 19, Henny Weissong. Number 16.
Henny Weissong will check back in. Weissong checks in for the first time. Alexis Smith will come out for Stetson. 11 minutes rolling in the first half. Stetson trailing 1-0. Florida has dominated possession in this first half. Anna DeLeon, the lone goal for the Gators. Sarah Grimmer with safe to say, a much heavier workload tonight than what she had in the opener versus South Carolina State on Thursday. Has already equaled her save total from the game versus the Lady Bulldogs, who have another substitution for Florida.
Hey, let's go, Gators! Let's go, Jules! Let's go, Chief!
And Jerry Butts will come in. Butts, freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Gators seem to have a strong pipeline from the Peach State to make the trip down to Gainesville, Florida. 9:45 in this first half, still 1-0 in favor of the Gators. Trying to level their record after a loss to UCF to start their season Thursday night. Trying to find somebody in the goal area is Curtis, and finds it to the fresh substitution Butts. Nice shot and a good block by Stetson, and that one looked like it may have caught the ribs. Washington again putting the pressure. Looking up, finds Washington. Washington's been very aggressive and assertive. Washington takes it up, and that goes just wide of Goldberg. That's the best look Stetson has had in this first half so far. Washington trying to do the work all by herself, but a little bit too much with the right leg.
Hey, T, good work. Keep it up. Let's go, girl.
8:30 left in this opening 45 minutes. Florida getting the goal on a play at the net by Anna DeLeon. Stetson gains possession. They'll try and send it to the Gator third. They'll kick off the legs of Butts, and it'll be a throw in for Stetson. And still trickling into the ATC, a packed house. And we certainly appreciate you watching us on Hatter Vision. Even those of you who will have our audio down and try and sync in with the Florida call, and don't be ashamed to admit that you do that. But we appreciate you tuning us in on this Sunday evening. Florida once again getting on the Stetson side of the field. And a nice defensive effort by Doctor. How did she avoid a handball? I had no idea. But Florida keeps possession once again. Nice little cute touch over to Young, and that one sails wide over towards the tennis courts. Another strong attack by Florida. And just like many of the attacks in this first half have gone by the wayside with no result. So Georgia Place from South Bend, Indiana will come on for the final 6:31 of this first half. Nice footwork by Stetson, but a little bit too strong on that pass. Florida gets the throw in. Here comes Roberts, the chance of goal from the Gator fans, rolling her on as she storms through. That shot is partially deflected and into the waiting gloves of Sarah Grimmett, who's been a very busy woman in this first half. So Budataya right there with that block, with that partial block of that attack by Roberts. As we have 5:25 left in this first half. Gators still leading 1-0. And if you're Stetson, if you can get yourself in the halftime only being down 1 goal, given how Florida has practically dictated the terms of this first 45, you'll take it if you're Coach Chris Bergman, but you got to get there first. See, two more substitutions for Stetson late in the first half. Trying to get some fresh legs for one final potential attack in the Florida offensive zone. And Florida being much more aggressive, continuing their play they had against UCF on Thursday night. Slight delay on the kick by Peskauskas, and that one goes into Greenwich's hands once again. Florida's had 2 good looks now in the last 10 minutes. They had that crosser trying to find Josie Curtis, but the touch went wide from Madison Young. And then just now, Peskauskas trying to give her opportunity. Grimmett keeps it a 1-0 lead for Florida. 3:41 in this first half. 2 fresh Hatters waiting on the far side for the next whistle, the chance to come in and make their impact in this first half. Long shot on another shot blocked. That's it with that trap. Long attack, it'll be kicked back over by the goaltender, Alexa Goldberg. Florida's just content to let this play out without a whistle for the final 3 minutes and not give Stetson a chance to bring in those substitutions. But again, if you can get yourself back to the locker room as Stetson down 1-0, given how Florida has practically owned this first 45 minutes, you'll take that as a victory. And if you're Florida, you've been to your more aggressive side, the more assertive side, and only really 1 goal to show for it. you'll be pleased with the result, but at the same time, you know you had a couple more opportunities go by the wayside. But they may be able to get another chance here. Stetson says no. 2 minutes left in this first half. Now 3 Hatters waiting along the sideline. Almost a handball, but they'll call it for Florida on the throw-in. Still no substitutions allowed for Stetson. Now we'll have the subs. Nope, nothing yet. The officials have to make the official sign to allow those substitutions to come in. They have not yet. 1:30 and running in this first half. Still 1-0 Florida. Here's with a free kick, trying to get into the penalty area. It's Stetson ready for it that time. Hatters got a little careless. An opportunity. Off the post! Off the post by Liskowskis. Almost gave the Gators a 2-goal lead, but they'll get it back on a throw-in with 1 minute left to go.
1 minute remaining in the first half.
Florida again with an opportunity denied, but they'll have a corner kick. 50 seconds and rolling. Florida trying to find one final strike before the first half whistle.
Florida Gator corner kick.
Gators have had all the corner kicks so far today, trying to set up a set piece. A little bit too long, trying to get that one over to the head of Madison Young, but Gators will keep it. 28 seconds, down to 27. Stetson sends that one long, will go out of bounds. Will belong to Florida with 20 seconds. Trickling down to 11.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Stetson trying to make one last push. The ball will roll out of bounds, and I will send us to the end of the first 45 here in the ATC. Anna De Leon responsible for the lone Gator goal. Florida has dominated all the stats, but right now find themselves only leading 1-0 as we reach halftime in the lane. We'll give you the full stats in second half action from the Athletic Training Center when we come back here on Hattervision. Stetson trailing Florida 1-0 at halftime.
Thursday, except by you. Game is scheduled for 5 p.m. That game will be followed at 7:30 as the men's soccer team will face the West State. Go Hatter on Strong Direction here at the ATC Thursday, August 29th.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Athletic Training Center. We're getting ready for our second half of action. Florida with a 1-0 lead over the Stetson Hatters. Victor Anderson, glad you're back with us on Hatter Vision. It was the first half that was dominated by the Gators, as the stats will show you. Florida had 14 shots in the first 45 minutes compared to only 3 for Stetson. Florida with 6 shots on goal, Stetson with 2. Florida had 5 corners. Stetson did not have a corner kick. Florida, we mentioned, a more aggressive team. As a result, the whistles were blown more for the visitors from Gainesville. They had 8 fouls called against them to 5 for Stetson. Stetson had 5 saves, and of course the lone goal in that first half by Anna DeLeon on a play with a lot of congestion in front of Sarah Grimmett. And DeLeon punched it home from close range to put the Gators up 1-0 and find themselves 45 minutes away from evening up their record after losing to UCF to start their 2022 season. And Florida will try and get themselves an opportunity to get themselves some momentum as they're on a 4-game road trip to start the season. They travel next week to Baylor, and then we'll take on future SEC foe Texas. That's still weird for me to process. They'll take on Texas next Sunday at 4 p.m. The game can be watched on the Longhorn Network. And of course, Stetson will finish their 3-game homestand versus FIU on Thursday night as part of a day-night doubleheader with the men's team. The women will play at 5 o'clock, and then the men will play at 7:30 versus Wright State. The Stetson men victorious in their scrimmage versus Rollins College this morning, 4-0. And the Stetson men will look to get themselves back in ASUN championship contention after missing a share of the regular season championship 1 year ago. Florida on the road white, Stetson in the home Sunday home blacks. And we're set to start the second half of play here at the Athletic Training Center. Again, a full house here tonight. A lot of Gator fans in attendance. Of course, Stetson dignitaries, saw baseball coach Steve Trimper. Down below to our left, saw the women's basketball team behind now the Florida goal in the second half towards the tennis courts. Should be an exciting season for Lynn Bria and company. It'll be a foul whistled on Stetson. Will stay with Florida. Stetson with adding via the transfer portal, of course, the continuing emergence of now sophomore Alyssa Hargrove after a tremendous rookie season. And she'll be tasked to help pace the Hatter offense with the departures of Yasmin Ziradine, Tatiana Stroing. Stetson could keep it in, and Florida will have a throw in right in front of that bench. And Stetson will finally get there. First real possession off the throw in, off the heavy touch from the Gators. Coach Samantha Bohan in her first season as the Gators head coach. Spent 15 seasons at NAIA and then Division II Embry-Riddle. Went 167, 76, and 16 in her time at Embry-Riddle. Made 10 trips to the postseason. Was an NAIA runner-up back in 2014, which is their final full year of being in the NAIA in the Sun Conference before they went through the transitional period from Division II to from NAIA to Division II. And then in the last 2 seasons with the Eagles, as the Hatters will have a throw-in, made the NCAA tournament. They actually hosted the South Regional in 2021.
University of Florida corner kick.
And the Gators, adapting her philosophy, will have their 6th corner of the match. Header, nice save by Grimmett. Went for the set piece, good attack off the header. And Grimmett denies the Gators once again. Stetson, except for that one late charge by Chloe Washington during the final 10 minutes of the first half, haven't really had much opportunities versus Alexa Goldberg for Florida. We referenced the dominance for Florida, 14 shots to 3 in the first half, 8 shots on goal to 2. Goldberg has had little effort. That gets the corner, and the Gators get on the board again. That one finds the top shelf, and the Gators find themselves a 2-0 lead waiting. Sophie White, who came close to getting on the board in the first half, finally gets on the board here in the second half. 4th minute of the second half, the Gators take their lead at 2-0. With the way their defense is putting on the pressure, that could be the goal that ices things for Coach Samantha Braum and her first win as the University of Florida head coach. Beg your pardon, Coach Boham. Want to make sure we say that correctly. We referenced in the first half how she felt her team didn't play a full 90 versus UCF. They're doing that right now, up 2-0. Off the beautiful curve, striking the top corner by Sophie White, the redshirt freshman. And here comes White again. Gets it over the middle. And that one goes just a little bit high. And just inches away was Corey Peace for making it 3-0. The one thing Stetson did not need was conceding a goal early in this second half. And that was a tough tackle by Washington, and that one will look like they might have clipped Madison Young right there. And she's right, looks like. I'd say that's Oakley Rasmussen there. So Florida leading 2-0 as we're at 39 minutes left. Sophie White striking the scoreboard and almost got another one, did Tatum O'Coin on a beautiful cross. But again, the pass had a little bit too much juice on it. The Gators had a couple of opportunities similar to that in the first half. We had a pass over from Madison Young to Josie Curtis that just went a little bit wide in front of the Hatter keeper, Sarah Grimet. Now Stetson trying to equalize, will end up in a waiting right leg of Goldberg. Florida continuing to apply the pressure. Stetson will have a throw in. A nice job by Stetson. That's Ariana Lombardi. Lombardi from distance. Then a nice right-handed save by Alexa Goldberg to keep the Gators up by 2. Goldberg used every inch of that 5'7" frame to get that right palm up to pop that ball all over the crossbar. But Stetson will have their first corner of the evening. Pass at the net. Wynn will stay with the Hatter black jerseys. And here comes Florida on the move. O'Coin, who just missed the goal, setting things up. Roberts on the far side, trying to find someone in the middle. And gets cut off, and that one just sails wide. And Florida continuing. Florida sensing that they got Stetson on the ropes with that second goal by Sophie White, as continuing to, if anything, putting that foot harder on the gas on the offensive third. And Stetson so far has been resistant to concede that third goal. 36-10 and rolling in this second half. Gators up 2-0. Sophie White scoring 4 minutes into the second half. And the Gators living again in the Stetson third. And we will have a foul. It'll be whistled on Florida. Fans down below and are wearing the orange and blue disagree with that call. And the Gators will see themselves go back on the defensive. Maggie Struble, who started the second half for Stetson, trying to push it past. Stetson trying to retain possession, and they will. Florida gets it past the middle third, an errant pass, and Stetson trying to capitalize. Washington trying to work a little magic. And this has been a microcosm of the game for Stetson offensively. They try to generate a little bit something on the offensive third, and Florida capitalizes, and here they come the other way. Peace with a tough angle, and that one off the top of the bar. How Peace somehow got that ball in a position where Florida can capitalize, I do not know. But the Gators, once again, don't get it. Contact, no whistle. Hatters trying to take advantage. Washington trying to slip it in the middle, and a white jersey was waiting for that pass. Florida leading 2-0. Anna DeLeon broke the seal of the scoring in the first half. Sophie White put home the second Florida goal 4 minutes into the second half. Florida losing to UCF 3-0 in their season opener Thursday night. Stetson a 5-0 victory at home versus South Carolina State. We'll have substitutions on each side when the referee blows the whistle and allows them to come in. Florida trying to set themselves up for a potential third, and that was a hard check, and that will be a foul on Thielen. Thielen trying to set up, a little bit of a hip check to CC Price. That'll be 2 minutes in hockey for cross-checking or boarding. It'll be Anna De Leon who got the Gators on the board in the first half with the kick. I'll be careful on the possible head feast for Sophie White. And we're trying to go instead to Josie Curtis, and Stetson was right there ready for it. Ball kicks on the line, and the Gators will have a throw in. And we'll have a substitutions, a trio of them for Stetson. Sid Kennedy will check back into the game. Kylie Overstreet will see her first appearance tonight, a sophomore from Orange Park, Florida. Leah Alexander will check back in.
Number 26.
And Hannah Arve
Replacing number 30.
will come back in. She'll come in for Lombardi. So Florida will have to throw in just in front of the ASUN Conference banner.
Number 23. Sabrina Kamana. Replacing number 18.
Sabrina Kamana will come on as well. Sophomore from San Diego, California. So Stetson trying to utilize that depth they were able to showcase versus South Carolina State Thursday night here, down two goals versus Florida. As the Gators continue their Viper-like stranglehold of this ball game Sunday night. Gators stay with it. Trying to find a cross, and that will be just a little bit too much off the head, and it'll be
Number 14.
a goal kick for Stetson.
Jerry Butts. Replacing number 9, Chelsea Curtis.
And Jerry Butts will check back in. Delaney Tauzo will check in as well for Florida. And a miscommunication between Alexis Smith and Kylie Thielen. And it'll be a throw-in for Butts just down in front of us.
Here we go!
29-24. Left between Florida and the first win in the Samantha Bohan era. Gators up 2-0. Sophie White getting the Gators' second goal. And Stetson was whistled for offside. And for State, if you're Florida, given the stretch you got coming up, we mentioned they go at Baylor. And then they go to Texas to take on their future SEC rivals. Baylor will be a Thursday in Waco. Texas on Sunday in Austin. Their first home game won't be until September 1st when USF comes a-calling, and then Florida State, the defending national champs, will make their trip to Gainesville. Stetson with that first full sign of life offensively, and the Gators quickly snip it out. And Florida will have a throw in. Good job by Stetson, showing some fight, showing some grit. And they're going to have to really dig deep in this final 27-54 if they want to salvage a tie versus the Gators. I'll kick it back, waiting to. All right, Lega Goldberger taps it back to one of her teammates. Two Gators have a bad touch with one another. Stetson Stetson threads it through. Dalen long, and a goal kick for Florida. And Goldberg, a junior from St. Petersburg, Florida, started every game last year for the Gators. And is anchoring this Gator defense to start 2022. They're going to change that call. Florida was pointing towards their side. Was pointing it over to them. And this time it will go to Stetson. This time it will go to the Gators. It's been a game where even for the first attempt, 15 seconds in, as we have bodies sprawling all over the pitch. There was a Gator down on one knee.
Always on point. Go Stetson.
Looks like coming off the field is Benny Tousell.
Gator substitution. Entering the game, number 22. Hopefully Rasmussen for number 20.
Hopefully Rasmussen will come on for Tousell, who will be checked on by trainer Connie Andrews and the rest of the Gator training staff. So Alyssa Hargrove and the women's basketball team, who is set to have a big season in 2022-23 coming up under head coach Lynn Bria. And a good strong tackle almost towards the penalty area for Stetson. And we'll have another set of substitutions. Olivia Gonzalez will check in for Florida. Also, Julianne Laskowskis back on the pitch for the Gators. 24-48. Standing between the Gators and their first win of this young 2022 season. And Florida continuing their aggressive pressing attack. It's been a game that has been dominated, and they're gonna say legal contact. That was by Laskowskis. Gator fans again not real happy with the call. Florida wanted a foul, and they will get it. A little bit too handsy on that battle for possession. That was Hannah Arve from Budapest, Hungary, whistled for the infraction. As we approach 23 minutes remaining. .411 the announced attendance here tonight. Another great crowd at the ATC as we anticipated when the Gators were announced on this year's schedule. And the orange and blue faithful like that effort by Madison Young. Florida had strong showings in the exhibition season prior to the regular season starting. A 2-0 win versus UNF on August the 9th at Disney Stadium, and a 3-0 win versus Tampa on August the 12th before starting the regular season in Orlando Thursday. Stetson lost their 2 exhibition matchups, a pair of 2-0 losses to Georgia State and USF, but then they beat South Carolina State 5-0 Thursday here in the ATC. Goldberg's only had to record 1 save in this second half, 3 total tonight. That Gator defense has been chomping down on the Stetson offense throughout the first 70 minutes of play. Can Stetson find a spark and give themselves any opportunity? Gator bench crying for a foul. Cries will go unheard. Officials letting them play a little bit. Both sides wanting a whistle. Neither side getting it. And it'll go back to the defensive third for Florida. Gators just content to continue the possession. As I say that kick goes a little bit heavy. It'll be a throw-in for Stetson. As we're under 20 minutes left. Gators leading 2-0. Victor Anderson with you for the Athletic Training Center here in DeLand, Florida. Gators scoring in the first half. 20 minutes from Anna De Leon. And the 25th minute and the 4th minute in the second half by Sophie White. That'll be no way we'll have another substitution for each side. And De Leon will come out. Laura McCloskey will check back in for Florida. Coming in for De Leon. So Washington back on the pitch for Stetson. She'll replace Sabrina Colana. Washington was full of energy. You mentioned that attack she had versus Goldberg towards the back end of the first half. One of the 2 saves Goldberg had to make in the first 45 minutes. She has 3 tonight. next to one of the the dog trying to get the ball from one of the event staff. We'll have to settle for pets instead. Coming up on 18 minutes. Stetson still struggling to find some sort of offensive flow. And it's getting close to desperation time. They may have a chance right here. Thielen makes a woman miss. Has someone on the outside. Lines up. Off the post! Off the post, and the Stetson crowd was ready to explode in celebration. But the iron unkind for the Hatters. The touch was good, the angle was good, but the direction was a touch on the outside. And bangs off the bar, and Stetson still trails 2-0. Alexander was just inches away from getting that crowd behind Alexa Goldberg up in a frenzy and giving us a whole new match here in the land. It remains 2-0 in favor of Florida. A nice tackle by Botata, who is still laboring on the ground and is hobbling back and trying to set up on defense. Florida's trying to capitalize, and that one goes over the crossbar. So we're inches away from being 2-1 Florida, and just now a couple inches will make it 3-0. Butata will still stay on the field for Stetson. See her trying to shake that right leg, like a horse, just trying to shake that leg and getting those flies off of him. Trying to get some blood flowing down so she can help this Stetson comeback attempt. And here go the Hatters again. That goes wide. Two good looks. Two good looks for Stetson. Goldberg has, after having a relatively quiet evening with 3 saves, has had to be pushed into action over these last few minutes. And speaking of minutes, we have 15 of them left in the second half. Gators trying to put that third and proverbial final nail in the coffin. Left-footed swing. Hugged up by Grimmett behind the net. DeLeon and Sophie White, the goal scorers for the Gators. Trying to give Samantha Bohan her first win as Gators head coach. And Stetson will have possession on the whistle. Which Bohan played collegiately at Duke. As part of the USA Women's Reserve roster. Was the team captain on the U21 team in 1998-99. Was part of the 1999 Women's World Cup residency program. Actually had 2 caps with the national team, including scoring a goal versus Finland. And Florida trying to score a goal of their own with a coin. Gators still keep it on the Stetson third. Gators continue to put the pressure. They have it, and it's a goal for Florida. And that could be all she wrote right there. So the Gators strike once again. Olivia Gonzalez with the goal. McCloskey with the assist.
Score number 7, Lauren McCloskey.
And the Gators make it 3-0.
Gator goal 7, McCloskey in the 32nd minute of the second half. For Gator substitution, in the game number 8, Tessa Barton. Replacing number 40, Olivia Gonzalez.
And the Gators again back on the offensive. Pass it over a little bit. Overplayed by Kennedy, who recovers. Grenette blocks that one on the strike by Laskowskis. Florida up 3-0. 12:41 and running here in the second half. And the Gators appear to be on their way to flipping their season opening result versus UCF on the road where they lost 3-0. Mentioned Stetson will finish off their season opening 3-game homestand at the ATC on Thursday night as they will take on FIU as part of a soccer doubleheader. The men will kick off their regular season at 7:30 as they take on Wright State. Go to GoHatters.com for more information and tickets. Stetson will have 4 of their first 6 matches out of the friendly confines of the ATC. They'll be on the road next Sunday versus former ASUN foe Mercer. And we'll spend Labor Day weekend in Montgomery, Alabama, taking on Alabama State. And we'll start conference play versus Liberty on the road September 15th. Again, block. Grenette slides in and denies Tessa Barton a chance to get on the board and make it 4-0 for Florida. Florida with 2 goals in the second half. To go along with the Anna De Leon strike at the 20-minute mark of the first half. Gators up 3-0. And are 10:37 away from having both their record and Stetson's record at 1-1. And now the Hatters trying to find a way, but they still can't seem to get that possession and get that shot on goal on Goldberg. Skouskis. Nice find to Barton. Barton got denied the first time. And goes wide the second time off the O to the right of Grenette. Stetson football will kick off in less than 2 weeks. Also take on Concordia, Michigan, number 6 team in the NAIA. Go to GoHatters.com for ticket information. Single game and season tickets are still available. 7 home games for Head coach Brian Young in his second season, including 4 straight home games in the month of September. And go to gohatters.com and click on tickets for a single game and season ticket information for Stetson football there. Have the 10th year anniversary in the home opener versus Concordia on September the 3rd.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. Score correction for Florida Gators. Third Florida Gator goal was scored by number 40, Willie Gonzalez. Third Gator goal occurred in the 32nd minute.
So the announcer making a correction, awarding the goal to Gonzalez, as we had stated earlier. And the assist going to McCloskey, as we referenced. 8:28 left to go. Gators on their way to their second victory in 2 all-time meetings versus the Hatters. Gators won their previous meeting 5-0 October 5th, 1996. An interesting twist in kind of that, we talked about that 6 degrees of separation. As that one will go to the waiting foot of Goldberg. I mentioned earlier that Coach Bohan coached at Emory-Riddle Division II program for 15 seasons before being hired by Director of Athletics Scott Strickland back in May. One of the coaches she coached against in the Sunshine State Conference is Danielle Fotopoulos. And Fotopoulos was on that Gator team that played Stetson in that first meeting back in 1996. So everything always is interconnected in one shape or form. And again, the kick goes wide. A lot of good looks for the Gators in these last few minutes as the floodgates up open. Rasmussen this time. Her attack goes high. And we're under 7 minutes and the Gators can smell and taste win number 1 for Coach Bohan, and I'm sure she has to be mindful of a potential Gatorade bath that may come along with it. Newsflash, that will probably happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and if they give her just 1 bucket or 2. Mentioned Florida will have a Texas 2-step next weekend in Waco versus Baylor on Thursday. And then on Sunday, we'll travel to Austin to take on Texas. You get a chance to see our good friend Cal Crooks, who's doing a call for Florida radio today. That's a hard tackle and a whistle. All against Thielen. Thielen's been aggressive all night long, and she's been whistled for a few fouls in the process as we're at 5:30 and running in the second half. And the Gator fans giving a sarcastic approval to the official. Header is over the crossbar again. Beautiful set piece. Well, that one again goes over the crossbar. That's the 3rd Gator shot on goal that went over the crossbar in this second half. This time off the foot of Ashley Tuttis. And that would essentially just be the parsley on the steak, if you will, as the Gators will improve to 1-1 in this young season and give Samantha Bohan her first win as Florida head coach, and will look to add some more. Butts tries to cross it. black jersey waiting for her. And again, cutting off that pass is Chloe Washington. And Wilson Tessa Barton there for the foul. She was jousting along near that goal line with Sif Budatire. So the Gators will empty their bench a little bit more. 3:43 left to go. Stetson will take this week, the first full week of class, to lick their wounds and get ready for FIU on Thursday night. So opening week of kind of mixed results for Stetson. Mention the win versus South Carolina State, where they dominated the Lady Bulldogs. But naturally you have a huge step up in weight class versus one of the traditional powerhouses in collegiate soccer in the Florida Gators. Butts comes out and gives a nice handshake from Coach Bohan. And it looks like we will have a free kick for. No, we're going to call our first yellow card. Going to call a yellow card on Florida. We couldn't tell what specifically caused, but it might have been a tackle bit of. Tutas whistled for the yellow card. Florida header, and Goldberg will hang on and will roll it out of harm's way. Gators 2:45 now away from their first clean sheet of the year. And the Gators will try to add some more. O'Coin over in the middle again, trying to go for Barton, who's been so close, who's been close twice in the second half. Stetson now just trying to get a shot on goal to avoid getting shut out. Whistle blows. We're at 2 minutes and rolling. Anna DeLeon got the scoring started for Florida in the first half. Sophie White tallied a second goal 4 minutes into half number 2. And Olivia Gonzalez put the game on ice with the third goal in the second. With the third goal, 20 minutes later. 1:23 remaining, and a hard contact continues, and they're gonna call that foul on Florida. Don't know about that one. It looked like Stetson was the aggressor there. They should have been called for the whistle, but the gentlemen in the neon yellow jerseys say otherwise. We're at 1 minute left. Long crossing kick. Stetson trying to find a goal, and Karamov just short again. Another brilliant save by Alexa Goldberg, keeping the sheet clean and white for the Gators. 42 seconds. Stetson trying to avoid the same fate that had them in 1996 when they got shut out 5-0 against Florida. 28 seconds and rolling. Gators will have a throw in, and Florida will be just content to get the ball And that will be the ball game.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Samantha Bohan picked up 167 wins at Emory-Riddle.
1.
And she picks up win number 1 for the Florida Gators. DeLeon, White, and Gonzalez, the goal scorers for the Hatters. And Coach Bohan is still harping on the officials even after her team won. I know coaches get upset if a team loses, but after winning 3-0 and the way her team dominated, she was still chirping at the officials after the final whistle. But nonetheless, the Gators pick up the victory. They and Stetson have a 1-1 record. Anna DeLeon with the goal to start things for Florida in the first half. And the Gators get 2 more goals from Sophie White and Olivia Gonzalez in the second half. Lexa Goldberg with the clean sheet. And she picks up her first shutout of her 2022 junior campaign. Final stats for tonight as we wrap things up from the land. Florida dominated as we expected. 28 shots to Stetson 7. Florida with 11 shots on goal to 4 for the Hatters. Florida with 6 corners. Keep in mind, 5 of those corners came in the first half. Florida did get issued a yellow card late in the second half. Very chippy game. 14 fouls for Florida, 11 for Stetson. 8 saves for Sarah Gannett. 4 saves for Alexa Goldberg. And the Gator faithful chomping and enjoying themselves as they pick up the first victory in the Samantha Bohan era. And they knock off Stetson 3-0 here in the DeLand, Florida. Okay, doubleheader of soccer action coming up on Thursday night. The women will kick things off versus FIU at 5 o'clock, and then the men will start their 2022 campaign as they take on Wright State. Full recap of tonight's action will be available later on this evening on GoHatters.com. So for our entire crew, my name is Victor Anderson saying so long for the Athletic Training Center. Your final score, 4-3 and Stetson 0 in the first win for our Gator head coach, Samantha Bohan. We will talk to you Thursday for a doubleheader of action at the ATC. Until then, we say have a good night and so long.